Hey everybody, welcome back to the Monday Q&A show here on Airsoftology. It's kind of like the weekly show that answers your questions, helps you out in a pinch, and gives you everything from like the basics all the way up to intermediate and definitely a little advanced stuff here and there. I've got a little tech tip this week on gas blowbacks. You guys are asking a question there. And also, if you have a question, how this show works, it's all powered by you. You put your questions down in the comment section below, and I will dig through them every single week. Make sure if you see some good ones, vote up your favorites. Also, I highlight a YouTube video every single week from another Airsoft creator or something that's kind of cool and Airsoft-ish, maybe military style or something like that. And I will highlight it every single week. Even if you have your own channel, you can self-promote. I'm totally cool with that. Also, put those down there below if you have a favorite YouTube channel I haven't talked about lately. Also, what do you think of the yellow? If you guys didn't see the unboxing video I did last week, I'll have that probably somewhere here on the screen. What do you think of the yellow striker sniper rifle? Do you like the yellow, or do you think it's just too loud for a sniper rifle, or are you just like, heck with it, man, I want to run yellow? It comes in a whole bunch of other colors, but this is kind of like a special one they sent. I want to know. Let me know in the comment section below. Okay, aside from all that, it is time to dive on into what you're really here for, and that is your questions in the Tippmann mail call. Ollie Jacob writes, hey, are helmets worth it? I've never worn them, and what do you think about lower face protection? I'm 14, so I wear it, but it's not required in my field, and neither are full seal goggles. So for me, I do have a helmet. I've got a bunch of, this is one of many I've got. This one I picked up here, actually, in Taiwan. I do run a helmet, and I run it for two reasons now. One big reason. Camera right here on the front, GoPro it all the way up. If I'm gonna be playing, I am recording. I'm a YouTuber, what do you expect? But I do like helmets for another reason. I have had this old noggin of mine saved a few times by using one of these guys right here, diving into cover, even playing indoor, like CQB style, like even kind of, I wouldn't go so far, I guess maybe Speedsoftish. I mean, I kind of just gear up and whatever. I do run these instead of running like a ball cap or whatever mount for my GoPro or the elastic head mount one. Just because I feel like I can run a little harder, and if I do slip and fall, I've got a little bit more protection on the head. I always wear lower face pro. I've seen too many teeth shot out. I think you are smart keeping doing that. The helmet is up to you. I do like it. It has saved me enough that I will probably always wear a helmet. Face Pro, lower one is a 100% requirement. When I'm not filming, I'm usually running like an EVS, the EVS mask, the full mask by Empire, which is part of the GI Sports Tippmann family, all that. I run one of those. I used to run a Dye. I personally like the EVS a little better. I know this is the Tippmann mail call, and you guys are gonna be going, Jonathan, you're being paid to. No, I'm not on this one, and I like the field of view. I think the lens, to me, for my face and the comfort and the way it works, I find that the lens is a little clearer for me. That's my personal opinion. Again, Dye makes an incredible product. I've used it forever. When I switched to the EVS, I felt it was a better fit for me and my use. So again, I don't want you guys thinking like, oh man, Tippmann's paying you to say. No, they're not. They are absolutely not. So yeah, on that, for me also, I wear full seal. Even if the field doesn't require it, I get one set of these. I'm not risking anything with teeth, eyes, no way. I'm not. I mean, I can get shot up and bleed. It heals, right? I'm not gonna risk eye damage or anything, even putting me out of the game for a while. It's just not worth it. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Keep running the lower face pro. I would probably recommend full seal, eye pro if you want it, if you can. Definitely do that. It's just my personal opinion, personal safety thing. That's just what I do. And then helmet is up to you, but it saved me enough that I will mostly run it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle writes, hey, I've always had M4s. Getting into sniping, upgraded my rifle to sling .2s at a field max of 550 feet per second. Last upgrade is to buy a scope. What magnification would you suggest, since it's airsoft and not real steel? This one's pretty easy. I run a 4x on my rifles. In fact, this guy, which I don't have the scope on it right now, it's in my closet, this is the edge of the closet here. And there is a 4 power. It's a variable 4 power, which I do kind of like those. You spend a little bit more money on. The one I have is a True Glow. It's actually pretty good. It's actually designed for a real firearm, but I use it for airsoft. The price for me is pretty good. It's like kind of in that, like, kind of like, you know, get the NC Stars type scopes, and you kind of get above like to their mid tier, and it's kind of like there. It's quality for the money. For me, I like it. Because I can move it to different things, and if I ever want to put it on something real, I can, even though I can't where I live. It gives me a quality scope with an incredible warranty. That's the thing too, you're playing airsoft, you never know what's going to happen. I do prefer a fantastic warranty on my products because if I do have to make some big investment into it, it's nice to have a good warranty to go behind it. But the variable for me is really nice. I would look into doing that. Look at the variable optic, because then you're not committing to like, oh man, I bought a 4x and I really wish just it's a little too much. Sometimes I find myself shooting at like 150 feet, like 30 meters, 40 meters, you know, instead of like out at like 200 feet or like 60 meters. So 70 meters. So those, you're like, oh, well, boop, you can make a little quick twist and you can take it 4x, 3x, 2x, all the way down to, some of them don't go to 1, but they'll go down to like 1.1 or 1.2. So they're not like CQB optics. Also, it gives you an option to put it on if you're running like a DMR, you can crank it down and still go clear rooms with it, as long as you have the power level low enough to do engagements, or at least engage targets closer to you without just seeing this in the scope. You actually see the full body here, like what you see here on camera for me. So yeah, that's my thought. Any brand is good as Airsoft. Come on, we're not talking about trying to hit, you know, something at 600 meters, 600 yards, whatever out. That's not it. I mean, we're max range at like, you know, 100 yards, and that's if you've got your gun tuned way up like your sniper rifle. I mean, 100 yards is as far out as you're gonna be like pegging somebody effectively, and that's if you've thrown everything at your gun. So yeah, look at it. See if you can find a variable, throw a little extra cash at it if you have it. I think you're gonna be happier with the variable optic that takes it up to 4. I think that'll be something that'll give you some versatility, and if you don't like 4, you can always kind of play with the numbers. Other than that, if you don't have the budget or you find something you like, 4x is usually the magic number, 4 times magnification for a sniper rifle scope for Airsoft. Killer Ferret writes, hey Jonathan, quick question. What do you put in all the pockets on your arms and legs if you're wearing combat shirts or pants? So here on the arms, typically nothing, unless I go to a big event and they have to have a medical card. Typically I put my medical card up in here. Like if you guys didn't know, at Milsim events, they'll actually have you fill out a real medical card, just in case you get hurt, you get knocked out or something, then you know, blood type, any kind of allergy medications you're on, or any medicines you need, like let's say you are epileptic or you're diabetic or something like that, so they know immediately if you can't speak, because you may be separated from your friends, and also blood type, things like that. And any known allergies too, so the medics don't give you something that could kill you. So yeah, I'll usually put that in there. That's about it for up here. Down in my pants for combat pants, I almost always wear combat pants when I play of some sorts. I'm usually putting my dead rag there because it's easy to get to. That's in the front, like on a pair of like cry pants down the front of your legs. I'll have like my dead rag in there. I might have a snack or something, a little bit something to nibble on, like something sweet typically if like I feel like I'm getting a little weak, maybe like I've been running so hard, blood sugar is a little low. I'm not diabetic, but you can feel when you're getting a little weird because you've been just pushing too hard. I'll usually have some kind of candy in there. And then on the side pockets, I'll have an extra mag in one because usually the combat pants have that little elastic in there. You can put one in just in case I'm so hot, I just strip my plate carrier or chest rig off and I want to go run in and be super fast to go do something. I at least have an extra mag to do a reload. And then the other side, typically like a smoke grenade or something along those lines, or a bang grenade, just so I have that on there if I'm not running it on my belt kit. So that's kind of it. Typically on one side of my leg, I've got a drop holster. So like my right side where my drop leg's gonna be, or it's like a half drop, usually drop and offset. It gets in the way of the pocket. So normally I won't have anything over there. I'll run everything in my left pocket. But then I also do the front 2 pockets are okay there. That's just kind of what I run, just to have it on my person, and then my belt's a different setup. Maybe I'll do a loadout for you guys, show you how, not just a loadout for a game, but why I run what I run and where I put it. This could be a great standalone video just to help you decide how you want to set up yourself for Airsoft. You know, you see a lot of military videos doing this, but not really for Airsoft. You guys can see how, like, my purpose-built Airsoft loadout. So let me know if you guys want to see that too. I'll get one cranked out for you. Freddo Shoots writes, hey Jonathan, what is light striking? I can't seem to find out. So light striking is super simple. I'm going to kind of give you a quick one here. On an Airsoft pistol, inside that there is a hammer that comes up and hits the back of the magazine. So the magazine has the gas valve in it, and the hammer comes up and bloop, just taps it, right? And that opens that valve for just a little bit of time. It lets the gas out of the magazine up into the pistol, and that's what makes it cycle and shoot the BB, right? So the BB fires out, it cycles and reloads. Light striking is when that hammer, let's say you get a Tokyo Marui pistol, right? And it's designed for duster gas, the low power gas, right? Not green gas, which is a higher PSI. They do that in Japan because they have an FPS limit. It has to be under certain limit to be legal. And then they build the guns around that requirement. So they put all the parts and everything in there. And they build the spring for that hammer, the strength to be just right to hit the valve, the right amount of time to let the right amount of gas out, considering they're using duster gas, right? So you do a big upgrade. Let's say you go get a Marui, like any kind of Marui pistol, and you want to start running green gas in it, or you have a green gas pistol, you start running black or red gas in it, or you start running CO2 in a pistol that's designed, like using the CO2 Mad Bull fillers. All of those things, looking at all of those, you can end up with a situation where you're using a higher pressure gas. That magazine's under pressure so much more. So that spring, that hammer under that spring that they built for a certain type of gas, when it hits that valve's under so much more pressure. Instead of it moving like this much, it may only move that much. So it's a light strike. It's doop. So what'll happen with the pistol is it'll go bloop, and it'll maybe go 40 feet. And then sometimes the slide won't even cycle the whole way. The slide will be like halfway. It'll make a bloop sound. Literally, it's bloop. I can't reproduce it because I don't have a pistol here that will light strike. I would have to have extremely strong, whatever. You can fix light striking by putting a stronger hammer spring in. That's when they sell upgrade parts specifically for Tokyo Maruis and a lot of high kappas, things like that. That's one of the first things you're going to swap is like the hammer. You're going to swap some assembly in there to be steel, so it needs to be harder because now the gas is under more pressure and it needs to hit harder. It needs that stronger spring, and that softer metal may not be right because it may wear out or build up. So it needs to hit harder to get that valve to move the same distance to let the same amount of gas out so you can have that full power blast with the stronger gas. It's just not strong enough to do it. That's what's light striking. So I hope it kind of explained it to you. It's kind of like this a little bit of a physics problem, you know, because the way they build the guns around a specific power gas, specific pressure, and when you start making those changes, that's what you run into. Also, over time, you can get light striking when the spring wears out. So that spring for that hammer spring there is just going to not be as strong as it used to be and run into that same issue. So hope that helps you understand a little bit more what light striking is when it comes to gas blowback pistols and airsoft. All right, guys, that's it for questions this week, which means it is time for the Code Red Headsets video recommendation of the week. And this one comes from the prize from last week. I hate to call it a prize. Fantastic channel, Airsoft Cam Man. I highlighted him last week. He does a great job. If you guys didn't watch it last week, I got to give him a second plug. What he's doing in this video is very different from anything I've seen in Airsoft for like first-person shooter, like going out and playing Airsoft videos by the type of camera he's using. He's using a 360 camera, and it gives you some really unique views and the ability to kind of see around the corner before he even moves. Anyway, enough about that. We're going to talk about the channel he gets to recommend because I want to let him talk about it. In other words, Airsoft Action TV. And this is a fantastic channel. I got a video going here right now. Give you a sampling of what's on there. These guys are putting out some good stuff as well. Also fantastic. There's so many great Airsoft channels out there. I really can't say enough about these. Of course, this is just one of many videos on their channel. I do like to highlight the channels that have, you know, at least a good amount of content that are growing, that are still there. And of course, like a lot of these, really could use a lot more subs because they're just way better. Then you look at the sub count and you're like, man, you guys should really have a lot more. And I've been there, trust me. Like when I first started, I was like, oh man, I'm doing my best to put out great content. And I remember people saying all the time, Jonathan, you should have more subs than you do. I'm like, I know, I'm trying, you know, it's YouTube. We're up against the YouTube battle. You have to earn the subscribe button. You can't buy it, you can't do anything else. So I always remember where I was. I mean, I'm still not a jet, I'm still not in a million, but you know, I always remember how difficult it was to get that first 1,000, that first 10,000. It's just so hard, and I want to make sure I give back to everybody because we together as YouTubers out here are such a fantastic community of players that love to just create and do this for everybody out here watching. Anyway, so enough of that. Check out Airsoft Action TV. As always, I have a link in the description below and a link over here in the corner. And if you do like what you see, mash the sub button over on their channel and let them know I sent you. Well, as always, that's it. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching the episode here of Airsoftology Monday Q&A. Don't forget, you want your question? Put it below. You got a video you like? Put it below, or a channel you like? Put it down below. Even if it's yours, I do allow you to self-promote. It's totally cool. If you're not promoting yourself, who's going to promote you for you, right? So also, if you guys want to support the show, don't forget, web store, got some patches, things like that. They ship worldwide, free shipping worldwide. So anywhere you get these things, you can pick them up, no problem. Anyway, guys and gals, until next week, go out, play some Airsoft, have some fun. But no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.